Testing.
Hi, Ellen. See you.
Waiting for some more people to show.
This is the first time I'm meeting this guy in person, even though we've known each other for years. To me, he was only a digital creation for a very long time.
An
He didn't
avatar.
exist in real, but now I know he is in real, or I'm hallucinating.
You're real too. You're human in person.
Good to see you.
And they keep coming. Alan, they just keep coming. Should we just wait? I mean, just keep waiting, waiting. Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Well, there's Sauna. Next year we need the Grand Ballroom in Sauna. Let's go on the road, Alan. Me and you from New York. We're gonna have some coffee talk. Let's discuss angels versus demons. Discuss. Discuss amongst yourselves. Okay, alright, shutting the door. Denise, shut the door. I can do my New York accent. Yeah. Whoa, I know New York here. Shut the door, Denise. Don't let him in. Let him in. No, shut the door. No, let him in. Shut the door. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. Some of you are holding books. Some of you are not. If you would like a book, at the end of the session, we will have some extra books in the back. It is our first book called Transmission. Awakening at a Time of Transition. Very exciting. Stokey? Just let me know when we're streaming. We're also going to be streaming this live, worldwide, so this is very exciting. It'll be part of a grander plan. And here at Ascension 1, Evolution 1, now, imminently, we have what's called an ambassador program. So people who have been with us for quite some time have been working and practicing, and there are some people in the room as well, to create what's called a unified ambassador field to help support the energy and hold the energy. So they're space holders for you. So we have a few of them here in our room, and we have, upon their volunteering, they said, let's get together and do this and hold space online as well. So they're going to be in good hands with us and also with Asil. And who's over there in the back. He's going to hang out in the back, and I'm just going to talk to you for an hour and a half. Me and Alan. This is the Crystal and Alan show. I don't know.
Thank you. It's our premiere. Okay,
It's
are
our
we
premiere.
ready? Are we streaming?
I
Are we
think we're-
channeling? Are we streaming?
Or are we streaming, channeling?
Okay.
What do you think?
Are we on? Yes.
Waiting for connection.
Waiting. Always waiting for connection. Okay. Ready? We. Yes.
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 Okay, let's get started. Yeah, they can just, come in, the live stream will come in and it'll just be
All
very
right.
real.
Sure.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Yes, we're on. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the Conscious Life Expo in LA. This is going to be a very exciting evening. You could just feel the energy in this room, and this transmission, I think, is really going to uplift people to another level. I'm so happy to be here in person with Asil. I've been hosting his streams on my YouTube channel, New Realities, for the last, 2 years? And it's the first time I've gotten this live transmission. So I think it's much more powerful. And I'm really welcoming the worldwide audience and everyone here in Los Angeles to just drop into that, that's your job, right? But just drop into that place and take this in and let your consciousness be elevated, because that's Asil's mission, to really uplift the frequency of us humans, and it's happening. And right here is the president of Ascension One. Are you the president now?
I'm the managing director, but
Almost president.
I run the place.
Okay. Crystal, okay. Thank you all. You're on.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you to everybody in the room. We have a full house, I see. I'm seeing some familiar faces, kind of a family reunion, and some new faces, so welcome to everybody. Welcome to everybody online. We are streaming worldwide, so we appreciate that. And for those who are online, we are coming to you from Conscious Life Expo here in Los Angeles, so it's very exciting. There's a real buzz in the room. All right, so for those of you who are new, my name is Crystal. I'm with Evolution One, the organization that supports the work of the channel. And for those who are seasoned and very familiar, welcome to the pre-birth of Evolution One. We're rebranding, for those of you who are new, with this transmission on personal and planetary evolution with the Elohim. If you want to learn more about the transition from to Evolution One from Ascension One, you can go on the still existing website, asiltoksal.com. When we started out 7 years ago, we were a bit like a rock band. We were traveling around the world, meeting lots of people, and providing experiences like the one you're about to participate in. We were doing whatever we could to share the transformative wisdom and energy of the channel with anyone who would listen and feel into it. When we came to our first CLE, this is the stage that we were at. A couple of years later, being back here is an opportunity for us to see how far we've come, now reaching thousands of people globally, both in person and online. So we're deeply honored and grateful to be here this weekend. So thank you to all of CLE, and thank you to all the people who contributed to making this happen. We do have some newcomers today. I'm going to talk a little bit about the session. So I'd like to share a little bit to give you some context for the work. Over the last 20 years, Asil has studied amongst various spiritual traditions. About a decade ago, he had a strong spiritual experience that opened a connection that we now refer to as the channel. This is a powerful connection to both energy and wisdom, which Asil embodies and transmits as a trance channel. And through this connection, energy is going to pass through him and reach all those who tune into the transmission, either here in the room or online, and either live or recorded. This energy allows you to align, to go deeper in your own meditation, to connect to your own consciousness and to celestial realms, as well as receive information which usually takes the form of a spoken transmission, or in your own way, visions, messages, or inner knowings. Asil's process for going into trance includes spontaneous movements of his hands and body. Sometimes his body trembles, and as the energy level rises, he may experience rapid eye movement. It's all normal. Don't worry. Everything's okay. His daily human consciousness is still available to him while he's channeling, and he can stop the embodiment at any time. While this is happening, you can use this time to find your own inner silence, presence, and alignment. So people use this time to kind of get into their own state while he's getting into his state. When the channel comes through, they're going to, the guides are going to present themselves with the names that humanity has given them, the Elohim, Emmanuel. So you might recognize some of these names, but they never refer to themselves as such. So they're just giving you the names they're giving us the names that we give them. But they're not referring to themselves as angels or archangels or anything like that. Once the energetic field is established, then an energetic alignment will begin. So it's really simple. During this time, sit comfortably. We're going to be in this state for about 45 minutes. and focus on being in an open, meditative state. Just by being receptive, you've included yourself in this energy field, so there's nothing else that you need to do, right? During the session, you can invite your higher self in. You can set an intention to release old wounds or thoughts or emotions that no longer serve you. You can also bring a loved one into your heart and mind so that they may receive the benefits as well. For those who are tuning in online, we recommend that you listen in a space where you can't be interrupted and you turn your phone notifications off. For those in the room, please ensure your phones and your notifications are off as well. That's a really awkward moment when you've got the Elohim in the room and your notification from your babysitter is going off, please. Or to take your medication or to go to the next session. When the transmission is over, we'll sit together while Asil guides us back. So he's still in like a kind of a half-channeled state. He's going to guide us back into this state of awareness that we're in now, assuming everybody's in an unaltered state of awareness, which it's CLE, so I've been buzzing. I don't know how anybody else feels. Okay. At the end, we'll have about 15 minutes. If you'd like to ask the human Asil about his own evolutionary journey or overall about the subject of personal and planetary evolution, we'll have that opportunity. And then I'll be back to share some additional party favors for you and close it up. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Sound good? Everybody online?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? Listening? Okay, great. Asil? Without further ado.
Okay, pistol. Oh. All right.
I'm gonna try not to hurt anybody.
Good to see you guys. Wow. There's a lot of energy going around here, huh? Welcome to CLE. And welcome to this transmission. When about 7 years ago, Emmanuel started to talk to me, it was a little bit, let's say, destabilizing. I had a life, at least I thought I did. And I thought things were going in a good way. I was a healer, was holding retreats, people were transforming. And then I started to have this access and these conversations. And it was like I had tapped into something that had a divine order to it. And there was such a high frequency to it, such purity. For lack of better words, I'll call it perfection. Such a beautiful balance. And I thought, well, you know how it is in this spiritual work. This could be just a one-night thing. Who knows if they're going to come back again? It's a great story you're telling me about the evolution of humanity and my role in it. I even asked them, are you guys sure you have the right person? Someone else? I said, no, it's you. And in that sense, they asked me if I want to fulfill the agreement that I had made about 3,000 years ago. That's an old contract. I said, yes, it's an old contract, therefore you have the choice to continue a regular human life if you'd like to. And if you'd like to go on this journey, where you can and you will be our messenger instrument to support humanity, then you'll have to let go of everything that you have accumulated and learned until now, so we can transform you to becoming that vessel of ours, or a vessel for this particular work. And I said, I'll think about it. Let me think about it. I learned not to sign contracts so quickly in my entrepreneurial days. And I thought about it for about 3 months. Really, I gave it a good thought. I thought, how is my life going to change as a result of saying yes? And what will come from it? Who will I become? And how will people that know me, love me, that I love, be able to relate to me as the instrument that I'm becoming? I didn't know. Frankly, I didn't even know how to explain this to my close friends or my parents. To them, I was the grounded person that they could talk to about everything. I was a scientist, an engineer, a business owner, not the guy that talks to angels. So my world, as you can imagine, was a little bit shaken up, like was a little transformed. And in that sense, the journey started to unfold. And it was a long journey of preparation, of heavy and intense training. Almost felt like these are my spiritual personal trainers for the spiritual gym, and I'm going to be prepared for some sort of marathon. So over these 2 years, everything from diets to fasting to going to specific places to multiple times a day meditations, long meditations, could be anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours every single time, getting up before sunrise, running around the mountain, greeting the sun, going to bed late, and so on and so forth, waking up at 2 in the morning, at 3 in the morning, at 4 in the morning. You guys, anyone familiar with this kind of stuff? Yeah? Yeah? There you go. That went on for a while. And then Emmanuel said, well, now your energetic capacity of your vessel is ready to embody Raphael. I said, Raphael, like the Archangel Raphael? And then Raphael was the companion that accompanied me throughout many years to deliver this work. And he prepared me to be able to embody the Elohim. And it was kind of like this consistent development. What they have to say is beyond the polarity that we perceive in this world. We experience life as humans in a dualistic way, because we are in a dualistic form. There's nothing wrong with that. Yet what they're saying is that we have a non-dualistic aspect of our being that is mostly dormant, that is mostly inactive. And if that starts to activate and we bring that non-dualistic aspect of our being into our lives, start to embody that non-dualistic being, we start to hold a level of presence that's very neutral and solid and centered. No matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the challenges are. In some way, it develops us to become more resilient as humans. Who doesn't want to be more resilient, no matter what's coming in life? We faced, crazy couple years just recently. shall not be named. That phase shall be forgotten. But it was a great challenge, right? For all of us individually, as society, as cultures, as humanity. And in that moment, I realized, if I look around how people are experiencing this challenge, you can see who has a solid grounding and is able to receive an uncertain challenge of an unknown intensity, an unknown duration, with a certain level of groundedness and trust, right? And I thought, okay, this is the journey that we're on, because challenges are not going to go anywhere, right? We will always face challenges. This is the form that we're in, and every challenge brings incredible opportunities for learning and for growth. Yet instead of learning, when we dive into these cycles of deep emotional dwelling, or it brings up all of the unprocessed elements of our lives, of this lifetime, or many lifetimes before, ancestral trauma, generational trauma. Who experienced ancestral generational trauma in the last couple of years? Like really coming to surface, or anger and sadness, grief, despair, in like great intensity. Yes? It was nuts. And in that way, challenges are great. Why? Because they force us to feel and to look into things that have not been processed, that have not been realized, that have not been integrated into our being. When the Elohim, or when the archangels speak, when they do these energetic adjustments, which we will hopefully get today as well, it is a preparation of our ability to face whatever is coming up within us, to observe what is coming up, and to allow that to turn into a realization. A realization is a very simple truth, an inner knowing that leads to a certain sense of liberation and freedom. Can everyone relate to a realization? Yeah. I'm sure you guys have had some. So you may also have some realizations today. Who knows? One thing you may experience in this work is, as the energy builds up and as the space is established as an energetic field, you may start to enter a space where you are beyond your identity of this lifetime, even beyond all of the identities you have held in many lifetimes. You may enter a space that is beyond physical space and time. You may enter into a timeless and spaceless state. Anyone experienced that before? Yes? Very experienced crowd here. And something really magical happens when we go into these places, into these states. Something really valuable and transformative happens within our being, especially when we do it in great groups, in large groups. It's almost like human consciousness evolves through us going into these states. And realizations start to come in these states as well. We're paving a pathway to our non-dual aspects of our being. And we start to embody that aspect in life. it doesn't mean that you're not going to feel the emotions of life anymore. Of course, we will consistently feel emotions. Like, we're human. That's part of being human. Are we going to have thoughts and busy minds? Yes, we will have thoughts and busy minds. We're going to have opinions and judgments. Yes, the mind is programmed to have judgments so that to keep you safe and not, fall off the cliff and things like that, right? So, but there is a certain spectrum of emotions that are more considered like the standard operations of being human. And then there are emotions that are seemingly way more intense than the situation justifies. Anyone familiar with that? There you go. He knows. That means there is an emotional charge. The situation reminds you of something of the past that wants to be transformed, that wants to be integrated. And these states that we go into, these non-dual states, and the support that the guides provide, are adjustments for us to be able to transform these aspects of our being, one step at a time. So that one day, there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pillars of light. We call that humans that have gone on a journey of transformation and being able to embody this state. Pillars of light. Individuals that other humans can look towards when they have lost a sense of confidence and trust in life. Someone that you could turn to. Someone that could turn to you in a moment of challenge. And just see that smile on your face and know everything is okay, and everything will be fine. Sounds like there's a football game going on. We're about to go into meditation. Is it Super Bowl weekend or something? Hey, we'll prepare for that. On all levels. So, it is my pleasure and my honor to share this with all of you. I know many of you are incredible practitioners already, have been on a long spiritual journey, and I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because humanity does need everyone going on this journey. And some people may not have the space, the privilege, the tools, the connections, the relationships to go on that journey in their right ways. And you are part of that evolutionary process. The individual's evolution impacting the collective evolution of humanity. And the ascension process of humanity is that. Is the collective evolution that we're going through right now. Is anyone recognizing that it's getting more intense? Huh? Roaring laughter. Yes, it is getting more intense. The energies on this plane are rising. And the rising energies of the earth itself are impacting the movement of the energy as well as the rising of energy within us. Everything is getting more intense, yet also, if you align, you can utilize that energy. And it'll become a superpower. So the rising energies of the earth are actually a great benefit for those that consistently practice. It'll be the crazy waves of the ocean that the surfers are riding. those that are not surfing are going to be crushed by the waves. That makes sense? Right? So let's learn how to surf, metaphorically. I can't surf. All right, I've spoken enough. Thank you very much. And we will now enter the state so that the guys can come through. Greetings. We are Elohim.
That's the thing. I mean, the things. So, what he was saying is that Zechariah Sitchin said the Anunnaki used to come into the room and dictate out some of the things he was looking at. He had help.
The discovery of your greatest self,
But I mean, it's absolutely.
of your greatest potential,
You see these connections.
will be the greatest gift that you can give to yourself.
This is in Paris. This is in the
This gift of evolution, and this gift of growth, this gift of transcendence will be your gift to all of humanity. As you have continued this journey, consistently finding the edges of your consciousness, consistently finding the discomforts of your being, the limitations of your mind, the limitations of your heart, the limitations of your body. You have found and discovered that all of these limitations are potential for consistent growth and opportunities to evolve. You have faced these limitations and challenges with the tools that you have been given, the tools that you have intuited, the tools that previous generations have handed to you. Yet all along, the greatest tool of transformation has been within you. Your own innate power to see yourself in all aspects of your being. Your innate ability to observe all that you are. This being that you are today is the result and the culmination of many experiments that you, your ancestors, and all of humanity have undergone. Many trials and errors, many challenges faced, many transformational processes passed. And here you are, standing as the representative of all these learnings. And while all of these learnings weren't always perfect or completed, you have been given the gifts of the learnings of those before you. The opportunities before you are yours to take, to pave the road forward for the coming generations to reap the benefits of your learnings. Therefore, as the generation that is holding this current living incarnation, you hold a responsibility, a conscious choice to evolve, to transform, and to live your greatest potential. The discovery of your innate ability to become the greatest version of your own being may take time. Yet, with the rising energies on this earth and the support that you receive from non-material planes of existence, including our support, the access to your transformational ability will be increased, will be potentiated. And despite the intensities of this reality and of this time, the great support for you is provided in this journey. in this very moment, witness yourself as a representative, as an individual, as an individualized extension of the human collective. You are unique in all ways, and just as everyone else is. Yet within this uniqueness, you are all human. You are the human collective as a consciousness, represented in human form. A uniquely designed form for your learning and evolution. And this form is beyond the perceived limitations that you have learned and understood of the human form. You will start to feel and experience the greater potential of this human form. You will start to feel and experience the dormant and inactive aspects of this human form, only to be ready when the energies have come to the levels to reactivate these dormant aspects of your being. All of you have found yourselves consistently through the challenges, through the moments of life, as every moment has provided the opportunity to discover yourself anew, to re-identify who you are today. And just as you have evolved and consistently transformed, you will transform in ways no human mind can imagine. And this transformational process will require a certain level of surrender, a certain level of presence, and a great level of trust in life itself. Allow the transformational potential that is rising to impact you, to transform you, and reshape who you are. Allow yourself to become the greatest version, potential of your being. Beyond the plans that you have made for yourself or others have made for you. Discover this moment as your greatest source of power, as your greatest source of alignment. The present moment itself will become the key to unfolding infinite possibilities to come. And the future that you have envisioned with the linear mind that has been gifted to you will be unfolding in ways the mind cannot comprehend. And only an individual that has found true presence in the moment, trust in existence, will walk this path with grace and an open heart. your journey and your transformation will impact many others, all of those that you are connected to, all of those that feel who you are and who you are becoming. Loved ones, friends, and individuals that you may not even know. Yet the presence and the frequency you hold in your being consistently in itself will become a transformational force of this reality. The evolution of humanity starts with you and expands from the collectives that have united to all of humanity. And humanity's evolution as a consciousness impacts all of consciousness. It is a significant time in the evolution of consciousness. And humanity will play a significant role. And you, as an individual, will play a significant role. This current time in human existence was expected, was awaited, yet uncertain, as you have been gifted the free will to choose your destiny, to choose your actions. And while many interventions have supported humanity throughout history, the support that was given required specific authorization. And the interventions could never supersede the autonomy of humanity's choice to experience specific challenges. While you might wonder how divine beings can observe and witness as humans suffer, while you might wonder how an innocent individual can be observed in its suffering or death, it is part of the grand cycle of creation and destruction. And it is for human consciousness to evolve and learn from all experiences provided and given. And therefore, challenge is a part of the evolutionary process. A uniquely established ecosystem of this reality has provided for you to become who you are. The rising energies of this time will allow you to shape this reality the way you decide to shape. You will become conscious creators of your own, masters of your own existence, seeders of consciousness, creators of worlds yourself. And you yourself will create ecosystems to provide for consciousness to evolve, to expand, to self-realize, just as we have. Thank you for listening to our words. We will now commence with the adjustments.
We also find these stargates and symbology mentioned when we look over into Masonic symbolism. Now, don't go thinking that Masons are walking through stargates because they're not. Most people don't have a classical education in 7 liberal arts and sciences to look at the symbols. But in the Royal Arch degree, we look at the York Rite, we see the exact symbology. It's a stargate. That's what they're telling you. Just like the McDonald's arches, it's a Masonic symbol. It's the sun gate of the arch. Or in St. Louis, we find the arch. It's all part of that symbolism and where it comes from. We see the gods portrayed again and again, walking through gates and getting there and going from other places and dimensions. It's sort of like you're living in a galactic Atlantis. You might say that Atlantis, well, a lot of people talk about Atlantis. I'm sure there's 100 talks at this conference about Atlantis that mention it. Atlantis might not just be located in one place behind the Atlas Mountains, or some people say over in Mauritania, in a little circle, or the Atlantic Ridge. It was a global dissemination, a great continental defeat of cultures. And we just call it Atlantis, but it went by many names. But what if it had a galactic connection? What if these beings were connected all the way across? Well, what's really interesting about what these gentlemen told me is they said, well, you know what's interesting to us? The military, they moved the Stargate and the pieces that were from there to CERN in Switzerland. Now, how many of you have heard of CERN? You know, if it were, we think that looking at subatomic particles, like quarks, neutrons, leptons, gluons, neutrons, all those things, but there's something bigger going on there. There's something much bigger. If you looked at CERN very closely, we see the particle collider and everything they have there. I mean, I think they could hit the reset switch on the universe, is what I think. But when you look over closely, there's all sorts of weird parades, tunnel opening, things about opening up hell. Did you ever see that? Really weird stuff. Even Elon Musk has tweeted about it. Very strange stuff. We have Shiva, great dancer and destroyer of worlds. But these portals and doors and places that go elsewhere, these false doors are mentioned all over the world. We have Kulu, Moon Island, India, Petra, Jordan, Libya, Turkey, all over the place. Now, this is a very interesting one because we have to come back to Egypt since we've shown you that Egypt and Babylon are connected. This is Zayet El Arian. Zayet El Arian. You should look this up. If you want interesting secrets about Egypt, this is Egypt's Area 51. If you look it up, you'll find it very interesting. It's an unfinished pyramidal complex that's been guarded by British and American military since the 1950s. It's got a subterranean complex underneath it the size of New York City. Aircraft can come and go from it without being seen. And according to the people I had dinner with, when I talked to them, in very high up positions, in either antiquities or intelligence, they told me there's a real live active Stargate in there. And you know what it looks like that scares the hell out of them? There's an aurora borealis of colors that comes out of the ground, and they don't know how to explain that. I'll tell you that for free. No one's getting in there. But what's interesting is that the guy that built this pyramid, and the cartouche of his name, it has the name Stargate in the title. It's really interesting. And the nearby pyramids are called the Ka and the Ba. And of course, you know the different names for the soul? The Ba, the Ka, the Ah, like Mer, Ka, Ba. Which is really interesting when we see that transformation come up. So this brings us back to these fellows, like the Nerda. This is at the British Museum. You see he's standing in a gate. And up over here on the side in Egypt, we find the name Stargate mentioned many times. And you can travel through it, you can go in it. But there's a key to traveling through the Stargate. Now, I know a lot of you have heard of the monatomic gold, gold, right? Lawrence Gardner talked about it, how Sir William Flinders Petrie found it in 1904 in the Sinai. They were eating it. It's a biological substance. I don't think a lot of the people that have it today have the right protons, electrons, and neutrons to do the same stuff. But Doris Temple. Again and again, we see that connection. This is an unflattering picture of me, and believe me, when I have to crawl into these spaces, people always think it's funny to snap pictures of me. And I had something happen to me at the beginning of COVID, when a couple that recognized me on Gaia, and it was crawling down and they were looking at my backside, and probably wasn't very flattering at the moment. And I'm coming down into the temple, out in the pyramid, and they said, "Oh, hey, you're Johnny Enoch." I was just watching you on George Norrie, and I said, "Am I really that ugly that you do not know the difference between my face and my backside?" And as I was going into this new area, this was in Hathor's Temple in the Dar, in the top of the crypts. This is like a university. This is the same place where you find the quote-unquote light bulb. Not a light bulb, by the way. But at the top, you'll see that the door is open. This is the secret, one of the greatest secrets for the highest initiates of the priestcraft. That when the gods walk down here, this
Thank
is
you
the
for
hall of
receiving
gods into the stars.
these
This is how
adjustments.
much we use.
Our gift to you
Now, if you go over
on your journey of evolution.
the Valley of the Kings, in the Valley of the Kings, you find
Allow these adjustments to integrate
the bottom of this, and again,
as you
it's
rest,
connected to temples,
as you witness yourself
see that
in
there's
silence.
these serpents at the bottom of this, but now you see the hawk, the falcon, the horse.
These adjustments may bring forth
There's 3 doors at
thoughts and
the
emotions
stargates.
and physical
You're not allowed
sensations
to enter in there.
in the process of transformation.
So when you go in there, this is me talking about it. You see Thomas the Third with his cartouche.
And observe yourself with
And when you come in
kindness,
there, listen very carefully. You'll hear
with
the
compassion,
secrets. I'll tell you more. Pay attention
a
to
state
all
of
the
neutral
material
observation,
Antiquities does not want you to see this.
an acceptance of all that you are
When you go into the back,
and
you see
all
giant
that you
cartouches
can
with
be.
stars. The cartouches look like name tag. You just see that they're denoting
This
their extra
evolutionary process
And when you
is
go through
yours,
there, this is very interesting.
and
Check this out.
all of
The gods are coming
humanity's.
through portals here.
Yet the one that you consciously can impact and truly transform is your own life. Thank you for listening to our words. Our work is complete. The state of being that we have found together, the synchronized energetic and consciousness field. It is a very potent field, and we are currently in it. And currently, we, as a group, can expand and direct the potential of this field to our loved ones, to our friends and families. Let's do that together and embrace them in this energy. And beyond our friends and families, let's include our neighbors. beyond our neighbors. Let's include those that we don't know, strangers, but human family. And we expand beyond this country to neighboring countries. And a wave of presence, of unconditional love moves from here to everywhere, to all of humanity, as everyone deserves to be held, deserves to be embraced, to be loved, and to be seen.
I want you to realize how much of what's happening in our world right now is influenced by them up there. Okay? The one that's important for you to realize. I want you to know this.
And together we embrace the entire world. All of humanity is held in this field of presence. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Feel the potential of this collective field. Breathing together. Existing together. Evolving together. Take another deep breath. And breathe out. And from this state of presence, feel what it feels like to be you. Your mind, your heart, your physical body. All ecosystems that make who you are. Your energetic spiritual construct. Alive and activated. The miracle that you are. And the aliveness that you can hold. And the aliveness that you can radiate and share as the energy moves through you easily. There is sheer unlimited energy and love of creation to move through us. There is no need to hold on to it as it moves like fresh spring rivers through us, through all of us, through the entire collective, clearing what needs to be cleared, refreshing what needs to be refreshed, rejuvenating and livening. This is the light of creation and the power that you hold individually and us as a group, as a community. And if you want, you can stay in this state for as long as you want, until the talk is complete, and even longer, until someone kicks you out of the room. But feel what it's like to be in this dualistic form and open to this non-dualistic aspect of you being consistently observing. This expanded state of being yet still grounded, embodied in this human form. Thank you all. We have a little bit of time to answer questions. Am I right? So if you have questions about the journey itself or where humanity is going, yes, we have a microphone set up over there. So technically, yeah, are you gonna? Good job, everyone. Yes. Bring that mic. You can.
Yeah. I think I've got everything.
Yeah, just don't take the whole stand. Just take the mic. I'm micromanaging, as you can see.
Mike. And I'm listening.
Micromanaging.
Joe, we put this up?
Yep,
Turn this up?
it is
Yeah,
up.
okay, it's up. Everybody hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Kristen.
Okay. You guys got a dual session, sorry. Okay. So, yes. All right. We already have
Any
one.
question?
Yes.
Right.
Let me see. Do you want to just come around? Did I? Yeah, I screwed that up somehow.
Do I have to?
How about this?
How far can you pull this cable? Just keep pulling.
Are you ready? Okay, so my question has to do with the energies as what I keep getting as a message about self-responsibility and accountability basically for karma, our actions. And my question is, with the acceleration of the energies, what can you speak to that kind of further? Kind of clarify what's going on?
So we have been living in this incredibly potent construct of the human experience and this reality, the way it is set up. And there is a certain way of learning through karma and learning through incarnation and reincarnation and individual learning, collective learning, soul learning. There's consistent cycles and different sizes happening. And we are in a phase where that's changing. And we are kind of like in a transitionary phase. So what I'm experiencing and noticing is that karmic learnings and realizations can literally happen in a moment. It doesn't have to happen over 500 lifetimes. It's happening much faster, much quicker, if we can get to that level of presence to observe the learning that needs to emerge, the lesson that the soul requires to have. So the amount of possibility and learning that we individually can do for ourselves and for the collective, for our generations of the past, is immense. With that comes responsibility. Once you start to know that that's possible, it's impossible to like turn your back on it and say like, oh, I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm gonna ignore all, But you have the ability, the possibility, and then the responsibility to actually be part of that learning process, and be part of that realization process. And it's beautiful. What an incredible gift that we have been handed, that we can do as part of our journey And it's not by coincidence that you are here at this time of humanity's evolution. It's not a coincidence. It said specifically, I want to be there at that time. I know there's a lot of work to do and I'm down for it. That's what you said. Apparently that's what I said too. I was like, no, I didn't say that. Yeah, great question, thank you.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. Mhm.
I just have one quick question about the solar flash, if you know anything about it.
Which one?
Well, the one that everyone's talking about,
Okay.
solar flash.
Solar flares?
No, flash.
Flash.
Like the one that's supposed to be the rapture?
Oh. So the one that's gonna just like finish us all? Maybe?
Thank you.
You know, that's really interesting. There may be truth to it, and maybe not. We could sit here and talk about all the people that say it's gonna happen, all the people that say it's not gonna happen, and so on and so forth. Or we could just learn to become really present with whatever comes. Like really centering our power, bringing it back from the mind and all the potentialities of existence into this very moment that is true and embodied. And in this moment, we have the power to choose the next moment, right? So I do have a lot of visions of potential futures. And they are potential futures, meaning they're not fixed. Our actions, to some degree, define what unfolds in terms of these potential futures. And supposedly they all coexist in this giant field of the multiverse, but that's a whole nother conversation, maybe happening next week. So, what I'll say to that is, the possibility of that happening, yes, but I also believe that there is great forces at play that make sure that humanity comes to a certain level of maturation so that we can continue in a non-material form in existence beyond this human form that we currently have. The amount of intelligence, the amount of creative force that has been put into place for us to have this experience is monumental. It's so much bigger than I can even express. So I have trust in that. And so I try to center myself in that trust. And if a solar flash comes, then let it come. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Okay, now my question.
Yes.
First, I want to say thank you so much for today. And also thank you for saying yes when you could have said no. Thank you for choosing to honor your commitment because they're so needed. And thank you for being the sacred divine masculine. It's also very needed right now, and for modeling that in the world. So thank you so much. My question has to do with the children. A couple of things. First and foremost, how do we care for them? Because they're very advanced souls, as we know. And how do we provide that support in the best possible way for their highest good and for all of us, for our highest good? And also, I know you mentioned about your diet, being prepared as the vessel. if you could just touch on that a little bit, on some of the things possibly we could be doing. I think maybe we know some of those things already, but some of them we may not, and so I'd appreciate if you could touch on that.
Thank you. Great questions. Children. Are they really children? Like, it's just like these Zen masters returning back into human form. They're looking at us like, what are you guys up to? We left the world in a better place, and here we are, look at that. No, they are really, really advanced souls. Definitely entering, no doubt about it. They're gonna question all the limitations that we put on them. Absolutely, they're gonna question all infrastructures that society has established. They're gonna question educational infrastructures. They're gonna even question the things that we tell them is possible and what is not possible. They're gonna question everything. And it's gonna be the greatest gift for us, because something needs to break the minds free. We are so indoctrinated and conditioned to think and operate in a certain way. These kids don't, right? So some of them will be impacted by the projections that we have onto them, giving them the existing structures that we've had and saying, this is going to work for you, it has worked for me, it has worked for previous generations. And some kids will submit to that, but many won't. That's the truth. Many won't. That means our job as guardians for this new generation is to transform as human beings and create spaces for them where their genius can actually unfold and be held. So becoming incredible space holders for these new souls that are coming in. That is going to be our job. Keeping them safe. Physical reality requires some level of safety. And providing for them so that that soul presence, that frequency that they're bringing can really unfold into our current state of being. Because every soul that's coming in, holding a specific frequency, increasing the average, guaranteed. So that's a magnificent gift. Thank you. One more thing. She asked about the diet, and if we go individually on a journey of consistent aligning, realigning, becoming present, the body will speak to you in very clear terms. And if we listen again, more than a listening of the mind, but really listening to the body will say, I don't want to eat, or I want to eat. I only want to eat certain things. And it may seem odd to the mind at times, but body has an intelligence of its own, right? So the recommendation that the guides always have is eat as much unprocessed as possible. Eat as much alive food as possible. Eat it as clean as possible, from as good sources as possible, right? Yes, and in today's reality that may not be so easy, right? So then our job becomes to actually communicate to society and to the world that is what we want. We want more of that, and we're going to support that kind of movement. So in that sense, us listening to our bodies, communicating what we want, what we need, will start to bring change in the world to provide that to us again.
Thank you. There's two questions over there, one from the young gentleman and one from the other gentleman. So,
I'm actually not in that
well,
So, hi. I have a question about new souls and about the new souls being birthed on Earth at this time. When you say new soul, is that referring to their first? Does that mean that it's their first incarnation on Earth? So in other words, there's a new soul. Someone who's a new soul. Does that mean that they haven't incarnated on Earth before, and are those the souls that are coming in now? And then my second question is, what advice do you have for, I want to say new soul, but in my so I define a new soul as somebody who has only incarnated once, or has not incarnated on this earth before. So what advice would you have for somebody who this is their first time on earth?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, obviously not all of the souls that are returning to the human form are new. Many of them have had rounds in human experiences, and they've just, some of them did not need to return back into the human. They had completed their lessons, and they said, when time is ripe and humanity is going for this great awakening, we'll come back. So that a lot of them are just like returning. Are they new? Yes, in some ways they're re-entering, right? There are also souls that are coming into play that have never had a human experience, right? So for them, the concept of this particular human form and this particular human construct and this reality is new. It's hard to get used to. Do we have any people here that feel like this? Yes? I've definitely had moments like this. It's like, look at this. This is like very rudimentary. And it's magical, but it's very rudimentary. I'm operating this machine. What I would say for feeling that way is there is a certain aspect, there's a certain programming that this human form comes with, which is intrinsically tied to nature. And if you can find pristine and untouched, it's hard to find, yet nature in its most natural state, there is something that activates in the human form that starts to feel like home. And it is hard to say that in the societal construct because a lot of that is human-made, right? It's like evolved over generations and ideologies and so on. Nature is very different. And there is an intrinsic connection that we have that gets activated and reactivated. There is a sense of peace that comes into place, of being human, no matter if you're new or an old soul. And I like to go back to that. That really helps me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more question. This gentleman over here.
You spoke about the balance in existence of destruction and creation, and also the departing of non-dual reality. And I'm inferring going into more of a bliss or connection to source. And I'm curious how those two things reconcile: the balance of destruction, creation, and being in a place of resonance. Moving into a place of a higher percentage of resonance. Why is it not just 50-50?
Right. So let's see if I formulate an answer to that. We, in our human existence, in this human form, are consistently created, recreated, and destroyed. It's happening all the time. It's like millions of times per second. It's like we're being constructed and reconstructed. So there is creation and destruction consistently in a beautiful and intelligent balance that's operating already within us. And the same thing operates in nature, and the same thing operates in much grander scale. So it is like these creation and destruction cycles are consistently operating. And we, as a non-material consciousness, are embodied experiencing that. The part of me that observes the human form and this experience that I have from a non-dual perspective, finds peace in the idea that this will perish at some point. And in fact, finds peace with the idea that with some sort of divine grace, I'm not just being deconstructed, I'm also being reconstructed and held in this form, right? And there's a way of being this eternal observer of life as it unfolds, creation, destruction. And there is a way of being a conscious creator by choosing a certain action. Now, I do believe in activism. I do believe for us, if we have the choice and if we have the power to make a difference, make a difference. I think that's great. And at times, that difference might be a creative force moving through you to be part of a creative action, being part of a greater creative cycle, right? And at times, some of us might be inclined to be part of a destructive cycle. So we become an instrument of destruction. Now, destruction is not necessarily always good or bad, right? We have an understanding of how we see destruction, but if you look at, things that get deconstructed to create new things again, so in some ways there's a great intelligence moving through that. There are times and moments where I'm in complete observer, in a non-dual state. And I even observe all the emotions I have about the destruction that I see in the world. And then there are moments where the emotions take over and I feel I need to act, I need to do something, I need to be part of a solution, right? This consistent moving back and forth into more dualistic experience and into more like non-dual experience, that will happen all the time in this next period of transition that we're in. But I do feel that there is a way where you can be a non-dual observer and still be in this dualistic experience and act to support creation or destruction. Even in that sense, I'm learning to become more of a non-judgmental observer, even of the destruction itself. And it's really hard to accept that for some parts of my mind and for some individuals that are observing. Let me give you an example. Very often, because of the position that I hold as someone that is an influencer, I'm asked to take a side about a certain thing because they're holding the right side and they want my support to hold the right side. And I'll say, I don't take sides. It's not my job. My job is to assist everyone to get to a deeper sense of presence. I may have a human, personal opinion of what I think, but as a soul, I don't take sides. I'm in observation and support of all that is unfolding. Long answer, but I hope it's helpful.
Good job.
Good job, Asil. Was that channeled?
Half channel forward?
Half channeled.
Yes. One more?
Well, it is
It's time.
it's more time. Yeah. We're at time. One more. I think there's some folks.
Okay, maybe we can answer this question after we just kind of release those who are
Ready to
needing
go.
to run. For everybody who's here in the room and leaving, you should have a little card on your seat that has a QR code. If you want the transcript or you want you want to watch the replay of what happened here, you can you can access that by using the QR code, or you can give somebody in the back your email address if you're not inclined to QR codes. We're also, and those of you who are online, evolution.1/CLE, and you'll be able to get the same thing. There is also another little parting gift on that website, that landing page, which is a free, all new energy meditation on love and relationships, just in time for next week, for those of you who care about that type of thing. So go ahead, it's on that same page.
You might imagine.
I know, you think it's all going to be about like romantic love, but let me tell you. So it's going to be great. Anyway, so that's there for you as well. Those of you who have a book, Asil will be signing books tomorrow, 12:45 to 1:45. At the there's a dedicated book signing area. It's on the mezzanine, which is the same level that we're on, over by the media room, which is like the San Lorenzo, I think, rooms, and those will be over there. So so thank you to everybody who was part of this. Thank you to everybody online, and we really appreciate it. For those who want to stick around for this one, I'm sure, very last riveting question and answer. I don't know, the party doesn't start until, here at CLE, the party doesn't start until 10 p.m., so we still have a little, it was a pre-party. We just warmed everything up. Now they're all going to be like, wow, this is so good. Those people